Lawson and Tulane linebacker Sam Howard were all named to the 2025 Bronco Nagurski Trophy watch list. The trophy is awarded each year to the best defensive player in college football. Louisiana Radio Network Sports, I'm Case Kieschnick.
KSYL.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 27 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome. It is Talkback for your Wednesday. I'm Al Quartermont along with Stephen Maxwell. And good morning to you, sir. How's it going?
Morning. How's it going?
It's going pretty well. Well, I know you had a kind of a late night last night. You were covering the carbon capture and sequestration meeting out in DeVille.
Yeah, it went on for a while. I got out of there at about 9:15. And got some content on my Facebook page, Stephen Maxwell TV. I also shared it on the KSYL Facebook page, so we'll have that. And you can also listen to some exclusive interviews coming up at 8:05.
Yep, we'll dive into that topic a little more in our second hour. Coming up in about 10 minutes, Kim Lyons will join us from the Cenla Pregnancy Center. They have their 7th annual fundraising banquet coming up in September, so we get you the details on all of that and look forward to talking with Kim. Always enjoy talking to her. And, of course, we'll take your phone calls at 442-8255 on the BOM Bank talk line. In fact, we are open right now for the next 10 minutes as we can dive into various and sundry topics. Interesting story that came out yesterday. The Attorney General, Liz Murrill, sending out a news release announcing that they arrested a woman that they call the Medicaid millionaire from Slidell.
Yeah, I just posted that, actually.
Oh, did you? Okay. Yeah, her name is Candace Taylor, 35 years old. She was arrested on Monday as among the things that they said that she did was she purchased a Lamborghini and had plastic surgery all while on government assistance. Doesn't everyone?
Oh, yeah.
Allegedly.
She made all of her businesses together, profited in the millions.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just don't know why, if you made that money, I don't know why you go through the trouble. I don't understand.
Yeah.
I mean, I know health insurance is expensive, don't get me wrong, but I mean, come on.
I bet it would be staggering if we really knew the full extent to which public benefits have been abused and frauded in this country. We certainly saw it off the charts during the COVID pandemic. In California, they estimated billions of dollars were just fraudulently obtained. And I'm sure that's the case with so many things around here.
Yeah.
So
private industry denies it too.
Yeah.
It's coverage.
So apparently she applied for Medicaid under an alias, Candace Saylor. And reported her income at $1,900 biweekly and claimed no dependents.
$1,900 biweekly?
Yeah. Every other week making $1,900.
So that allows you to be on Medicaid if you make $1,900 every week?
Yes.
Wow.
I mean,
that's not a bad
I was going to say, actually.
So that's like, if that's like net income, she's making what, like, I don't know, 50?
Yeah, right around
a year?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't think that would get you on government assistance. I guess there's other factors involved.
Maybe so. But they say in 2020, despite her being approved for Medicaid and claiming to possess no income, records revealed she had deposits of more than $480,000, more than $45,000 in vehicle payments to Audi Finance, multiple six-figure withdrawals via cashier's checks to fund property purchases, cosmetic surgery, high-end jewelry, and luxury services, along with a $100,000 wire transfer to an exotic car dealership, followed by a $13,000 debit card transaction for the acquisition of a 2022 Lamborghini Urus.
I don't even know what those words mean. That's too rich for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I had to slow down too with my stuff after my second yacht, so I get it.
What a story! What a country!
Yeah, it's you get those bad apples in there, but I'm sure there's a lot more that'll be found out, and yeah, glad they caught it.
Yeah, they also arrested another guy, 38-year-old from Baton Rouge, Johnny O'Neill Richardson, for Medicaid fraud. Let's see, he had billed non-emergency transportation services, among other things. I'm just kind of perusing through this.
So we fraud state government for taking all the Medicaid money, and we don't even know what's coming out of it. Just
right.
kidding, it's a joke.
No, I hear you. But like I said, if we probably even knew a tenth of the fraud that goes on in this country right now, we would be more than appalled.
Yeah, it's an age-old problem too. People stealing and dealing.
Yep, stealing and dealing. There you go. All right, let's jump on the phones this morning. Good morning, you're on Talkback.
Good morning. Really enjoy the show. I was wondering if y'all had seen anything on where the DOT announced, I guess maybe yesterday, they're going to close all 4 intersections.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll have a full report today for you.
It's the week before the teachers go back to school and all the school buses are going to be rolling. How crazy is that? Is that nuts? I mean,
yes,
for those of you who don't know, there's tens of thousands of people that come down that way every day.
Hasn't Nathan said that is one of the busiest corridors in the entire state?
It has got to be.
Yeah.
It is one of the most hectic areas.
So why in the world they would close all 4 and leave only 2 alternative ways to get to Alexandria is beyond me.
Well, you want to know do you know the reason why they're doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because they need to lower the road to allow for higher clearance for trucks that go under that overpass. So they're basically closing the road down, going lane by lane, digging it out to move it from like 14 feet clearance to about 16 feet clearance with what DOTD said is more of the national standard. So if you're on the live stream, you know, eyes are
so they're going to lower the road underneath the bridge?
Underneath the bridge to allow for
which will probably mean that when we have a big rain, it'll be like 2 feet of standing water.
I don't know. Whenever you do stuff like that, too, because you have all those businesses right there, that can impact business as well. So.
Right, especially the new businesses that just opened over there.
Yeah. So if you folks aren't familiar with what he's talking about that intersection between the Monroe Highway and then 167 coming south or north. Basically, it's the Kingsville area. So right there, it's where you would get off to go to Lowe's. There's a Burger King there.
Raising Cane's.
There's Wendy's, Raising Cane's. So when I come to work in the morning, that's where I get off and then hit 165 coming into Bulow. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, okay, how am I going to get to work? I guess I'll have to get off at 71 at that like Tioga exit and come past the VA. But I guarantee you the traffic's going to be a lot heavier there now and it's slower. So I'll have to leave probably at least 10 minutes earlier in the morning to get here.
So they're doing it in 2 phases. The outside lanes is going to be the big burden, right? Because they're going to shut down those ramps. That'll happen starting August, 5th.
August, 5th.
5th, and then that's going to continue until about December, mid-December, optimistically.
Yeah.
Then they'll open up the outside lanes and then shut down the inside lanes. So they'll have those ramps open, but it'll obviously, if you shut down the lane, it's going to be congested even more.
Right.
But it's something they say they have to do. They said they've had incidents there where trucks hit that overpass. I asked how many. They're like, well, there's been 1 or 2 in the past 10 or so years.
1 or 2.
Yeah,
Wow.
They know it's a
I do remember when it's happened once or twice.
Yeah.
So the on and off ramps, both sides will be closed.
Yeah. The whole
So
thing.
you'll be able to get through there.
Yeah.
You just can't get off there.
Or
on.
Yeah.
And again, that's where a lot of times I'm getting on or off.
Yeah. Well, you just might have to go down 165 and go through Alexandria. Well, you can't get off there.
That is another way that I can get to work, is if I come all the way into Alexandria, get off at the downtown exit, and then cut over and come up Jackson Street. But it takes a lot longer because of all the stoplights.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, I've got it timed to where I can get, if I leave the house by 9:50, I'm here.
9:50. Okay.
I mean, 9:50, 6:50. Then I'm here by usually about 12 minutes after.
You leave at
7.
6:50?
Yeah, sometimes.
I've already been working a couple hours by then.
I try to leave by 6:45 just to give myself plenty of time. Because usually I'll get here, sit in the parking lot, listening to the end of the CBS News and then the Louisiana Radio Network News.
So you get off on that exit right there, and you just go down the Curtis Coleman Bridge or whatever?
Right,
Okay.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be annoying, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's only a few months.
She even said that, Aaron, with DOTD, she's like, optimistically.
Yeah.
But they hope to be done with everything by the end of January.
Remember when Military Highway, they were replacing that overpass?
Yeah.
Didn't it take like a year or two longer than it was supposed to?
I don't
It
want
was way, 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 way longer.
Well, it's always long. I don't want to say it's always, but it tends to be that way. Maybe the ones that get on time we don't really think about.
Maybe they should just put a roundabout there.
Hey, I'm a big fan of roundabouts.
Yeah, they actually do work pretty well.
Yeah. But everyone would love that, I'm sure.
I'm sure. Let's get some calls in. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Hey, good morning. Hey, that way I go by the VA each morning, so it's not too bad.
It's not too bad, but
hopefully.
It's a little slower, and again, you're gonna have a lot more traffic on that.
And if you get behind somebody, I've gotten behind somebody who went like 20 miles an hour for almost like.
And you can't pass.
Where you go,
there's
the
nowhere
bridge.
to pass.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I guess you can try to pass, but it might not be a good idea.
Just do like everyone else in Louisiana and pass on the shoulder.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. But hey, when is that Freddy's supposed to open?
End of August.
Wow.
They just put the signs up too. Huh?
Whoa! So
now you won't even be able to get. You won't even be able to get off at the exit there to go to Freddy's.
Yeah, I'm gonna get no shakes for you, buddy. No, you'll be able to get there. You have to really work for it.
You got to really want a steak burger, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you'd have to get off, if you're coming from the north, you'd have to get off at either 71 and then weave your way around, or get off at the Donahue Ferry Military Drive exit and then wind your way back. I mean, you can, but oh man,
this is so off message for Al. Just whining about the traffic.
I know,
you
that's
just
true.
Suck it up, do what you gotta do.
I'm not happy. All right, let's take another call. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am in total agreement with you because I drive this way every morning, and I'm like, okay, but I hope they have to think about when it rains real hard, it always floods.
Yeah.
Right there, and they're going to lower it, so that means it's going to be even worse.
That's what
I'm
saying.
Like, okay, y'all are not thinking, whoever designing this that must not drive like we drive it all the time. But on second hand, I wanted to tell you could always cut down and go behind Lowe's and then cut through the Super One service road there and come out in front of Freddie.
That's true. Yeah, that's another option.
But everyone's going to do it.
Right.
You just gave the secret now.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that on the radio. I should have called you.
That's right.
Oh, man, how stupid am I? Oh, well.
Now people will forget by then. Thank you. Appreciate you. Bye.
Well, y'all could just live in Alexandria like me, and you ain't got to worry about it.
Yeah.
I love Pineville, by the way.
Well, I live up in Grand Parish. So.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's peaceful and quiet, and you don't hear gunshots unless it's hunting season.
Well, I don't hear gunshots either, so.
Okay.
In Alexandria. Now, in Shreveport, that was a different story.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we need to take a break. Kim Lyons will join us in the studio next here on Talkback.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. For Hershey, dealing with tariffs is not so sweet. The company lowered its full-year profit guidance. It said tariff costs ended up being much higher than what Hershey had estimated earlier. The maker of its namesake chocolate bars and Reese's peanut butter cups still sees full-year net sales rising at least 2%. Last week, Hershey said it would raise candy prices by double digits because of historically high cocoa prices. United Airlines flight attendants have said no to a new contract that would have provided cumulative pay increases of as much as 45.6% over 5 years. The tentative agreement also included a separate payout for years in which the workers received no raises. Both the union for the flight attendants and United signaled their commitment to more talks. Stock futures are edging higher this morning as investors await the outcome of the Fed meeting and watch for some key economic reports. Stocks pulled back from record highs yesterday. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
Talkback. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK.
All right, we are back here on Talkback on your Wednesday morning. I'm Quartermont Stephen Maxwell, and joining us in the studio right now is Kim Lyons. She is with the Cenla Pregnancy Center, and they have their big annual banquet coming up in just a little bit. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm just great this morning. How are y'all?
Good. Always good to have you on the show.
Thanks.
Hope things are going well for you.
Things are going really well. We're gearing up for school to start in my home. I have my oldest that's going to UL, so that's a new season of life for us and our family. Mm-hmm.
That's your first going to college?
That's my first going to college.
Oh, wow.
I told my mom I was going to UL one time. She's like, I know what you're doing over there.
We're not talking about
that. Wow. Way to make a mother feel.
No,
yeah, really.
I'm joking.
No, we have a lot of family and friends there, and I'm excited that that's where she's landed.
Nice.
So.
Lafayette's been put on the map, too, lately, all this stuff.
Yeah. What's her major going to be?
Nursing.
Nice. Well, we need more of those.
Absolutely. Sure. Nationwide.
Wow.
I went there, so it's good.
I did. I got my master's degree there.
Did you? Mm-hmm. What did you get your master's in?
Communication.
That's not surprising.
I don't know if it did any good.
I don't know what it did for you.
That's what I got. So.
Well, you did land a spot as one of the MCs at our annual banquet, so I would say you probably did pretty good.
I know, yeah. So I've got that going for me, which is nice.
But you guys have a big event coming up.
We do have a big event coming up. It's our annual fundraising banquet. Most of you know it's called the Gift of Life Banquet, and it's going to be on September 18th, a Thursday this year.
Okay.
We're just pretty excited about some of the new pieces that we're adding, especially our keynote, and then just the music accompaniment that we're bringing in. So,
does it seem like every year you're getting more people? I want to be part of this.
Yes, in various ways. In all the ways, really. We have it. If you've been to the event, you may or may not have noticed that we actually have a team of over 100 volunteers who help us make the event happen. And so that draws just from a variety of areas. And since we service the communities all across the Cenla region, from one side of the state to the other, we really see a draw of people to come in, to participate, to attend, and then to volunteer.
For people who are not familiar, briefly explain what the mission of Cenla Pregnancy Center is.
Well, our main mission is to meet every woman who is in basically an unexpected pregnancy situation, but that can look a variety of ways, or a crisis pregnancy situation, and really to just journey with them along the way. We just believe that, every life has a story, every heartbeat is a miracle, and I would say every woman facing an unexpected pregnancy deserves to be met with compassion and hope and love and truth. And that's what we're here for.
Because if somebody gets in that situation, probably the first thing they're reacting with is maybe a sense of fear.
Absolutely.
And what has typically been the alternative for many people across the country. Sadly, a lot of times has been to go the abortion route. You're at least saying, hey, there are other options. Come and talk with us, and let's look at that.
Right. In every initial visit, we do a true needs assessment of what's going on in their situation, and that helps us really determine what the next step is for what resources they might benefit from being connected to beyond what we offer. And we go through true options. We call it counseling. It's not professional counseling, but we do, go through a variety of what all the options are so that we are making sure that we're sharing, the truth and love so that they are fully informed before they make any decision moving forward. But a lot of times the fear and anxiety really just sets in around the cost of what it takes during the pregnancy and for the baby. And we're just really blessed that our community has supported us so greatly that we can support moms until the child turns 2.
Wow.
And I don't know about you guys, but nowadays the cost of diapers are
that's a lot of help.
What do we choose? Do we choose the one thing over the other? And we don't want that to be the case for any mom in our community, no matter what their no matter anything really. Yeah. There's no barrier to the potential for any woman in a pregnancy, whether it's unexpected or not. If there's a need, we're going to find a way to meet it. And if we can't meet it, we're going to partner with our community partners to make sure that need is met.
Where are you guys located for people out there who might be listening?
Yeah, so our primary location, our first location was here in Alexandria. We're located right between the Louisiana Baptist Building and the Mattress Firm on the MacArthur Drive Service Road. So right down the road from Raising Cane's.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And there's another location?
And we have 2 other locations. We have a location in Marksville that's located right in North Monroe Street.
Okay.
And then we have a location in Vidalia, which is our most recent center that we opened, and it is on Highway 84.
Okay. I love Vidalia. I love going there. So, so tell us about the banquet you guys coming up. Of course, you guys, donations are huge for y'all.
Oh, absolutely. The donations, this is our biggest fundraising event of the year. Surprisingly, most people are surprised to hear that our second largest is our baby bottle campaign that we run through a variety of organizations and churches. But our primary one is the banquet, and we are just so excited this year. Our theme is planting seeds of hope, or just seeds of hope, and we recognize this year that so often going into our 8th year of operation, only our 8th year, we're about to celebrate 8 years, which is pretty still brand new.
Yeah.
We really wanted to focus on how, if you imagine yourself as a farmer in maybe in the field of life with a handful of seeds and a heart full of hope, we just want to show that sowing the seeds of hope is not a hard thing. We may not ever control how people respond to the sowing of the seeds, and that's okay, because we trust that every seed is going to plant some truth and some love, and that's really our goal, because that's the power to change lives. And it's not in our control to change lives. Right. And so we just, we want to see that every seed is scattered can touch any heart, and that really the Lord is going to bring that growth, and we just kind of step into that place to sow the seeds. So that's our theme for this year, and the event itself is going to be, like I said, on Thursday, September 18th. There's a variety of ways you can participate. Most importantly, we are still in the process of securing our partnerships for our different sponsorship levels, and they range from $1,000 for a reserved table all the way up to a partnership package with marketing benefits up to $15,000. And we're super thankful for the larger majority of people who do secure a table, and we're expecting about a little over 1,000 people this coming year. So based on what our numbers look like so far, we're on track for that. And so I'm super excited to be able to bring so many different denominations of people and so many different groups of people, from CEO organizations to nonprofits, to just come to the table, really, and see what we're doing. We have some beautiful client testimonials prepared from some of the women who have benefited from the services.
Wow,
that'll be
1,000 people.
Randolph Riverfront Center.
Yes,
again?
Sir. It's going to be at the Riverfront Center, and I'm just going to tell y'all, JJ Jasper has really just kind of blown me away. He's been so engaging. He's met with our team. He's prayed with our team, and he is just super excited to come back here to Central Louisiana. He's been here before. It's been a long time. And so, yeah.
And he is the featured speaker, JJ Jasper.
JJ Jasper. So JJ is most people, if you know him, he is a radio show host and of a morning radio show on American Family Radio. And he's a comedian, which is a new, I guess, new for us to have a comedian on the stage for our event. But when we look at the light of what we are accomplishing in the work that we do, we thought how fitting to bring someone to just bring laughter and joy and to shine the light that we are accomplishing in a different way.
What are some other things people can expect there?
So there's a local quartet, the River Winds Trio, that does a little orchestra type set, music local. So they're going to be our a music accompaniment for the evening. We have, as always, a phenomenal meal planned. We know how much we love food down in this part of Louisiana.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. And so we do have a great meal planned, and just an opportunity, again, for the community to come together. This event is unlike a lot of others. It is a plated dinner, and it is just a night to celebrate what we have accomplished and what our community has accomplished, because we would not be able to do what we do without the support of our community.
Is this going to be the third banquet that you're presiding over?
This is going to be the third one.
For you?
For me.
Since you took over for Claire.
2014. Yeah, this will be my third.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I was about to say, y'all been around for less than 10 years, huh?
Correct.
'Cause I remember doing a story when y'all first got here. Yeah, that was, okay. Yeah.
About 7 years ago.
Yeah,
That's
that
right.
sounds about right.
Yeah. And it's only grown since then, which is...
It's only grown, that's right.
Yeah.
And Al's emceeing, or is this something else?
You are correct, sir.
Oh, was I supposed to say that? Y'all look like you're being secretive about it.
Secret's out.
Oops, sorry.
No, not a secret.
No.
It will be me, along with Tabitha Huffman, my colleague at LCU, who's our theater professor.
That was kind of funny. If you want another comedian, some jokes up there. And
I might have to rein him in, huh?
Yeah,
You might
yeah.
keep him in the box.
No, Tabitha will bring the energy.
She will, yes. Tabitha and I, she's just a phenomenal asset to our community, and I love the work that she has done, settling back into Pineville and coming in and bringing so much life to the theater department at LCU.
Absolutely. So we're going to have some fun. So, Stephen, you better cover that event.
I'll try my best. I'll be there. Yeah.
And I really just wanted to make sure that I spotlighted this new tax credit that we have in the state of Louisiana for any donors who participate in or who are eligible for possibly an income tax credit. Any donation made to a maternal wellness center, which we are a maternal wellness center as a pregnancy center, they're eligible for an income tax credit for up to 50%.
Wow.
Of the donation made to the pregnancy center. And so you can reach out to us for more information. The key is that it must be claimed through the Louisiana Department of Revenue, but we have a pretty seamless process to make sure that happens. But that applies to individuals or businesses. So anybody out there who is currently donating to the pregnancy center, please be sure to reach out. And then any donations made, any new donors, especially donations made for our banquet, those can be eligible too, so they have to be claimed. So just reach out to us, because we know that can have a significant impact on people's taxes.
Yeah, for sure. That's good to know for sure. All right, it's the 7th annual fundraising banquet for the Cenla Pregnancy Centers, the Seeds of Hope, Gifts of Life banquet, September 18th. That is a Thursday, 6 p.m., Randolph Riverfront Center. And if people are interested in getting tickets, how do they go about that?
They can go to our website, www.cenlapc.com. Tickets are available, or individual tickets or reserved tables are available, and you can get them by going there. You can give us a call, or you can, if you know any of our board members, have a little healthy challenge to see how many of them can reserve some tables. So find one of our board members and make that happen. And I also have to share that, guys, we saw over 500 women in 2024, which is a pretty significant growth for us. And we are only 7 months in to 2025, and we have already seen right at 400 clients. So on that path of the Lord just continues to provide, and we continue to serve, and we're just on the path to be able to do that. And it's a beautiful journey to come alongside so many women of our communities.
That's awesome. We love hearing that. So, all right. Well, we'll have you on again sometime before the banquet.
Absolutely.
But thank you for stopping in today. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks so much. Y'all have a wonderful day.
Yeah, you too. Kim Lyons from the Cenla Pregnancy Centers here on Talk Back. We're back with more.
KSYL.
Be part of the excitement at the Central Louisiana Home and Product Show, Saturday, September 20th, presented by the Home Builders Association of Central Louisiana. Whether you're in home building, remodeling, decor, or innovation, this is your chance to get in front of hundreds of local homeowners ready to buy. Spots are filling fast, so don't wait. Reserve your vendor booth today. Visit hbaofcenlaw.org or call 318-443-1902. Proudly sponsored by Coburn Supply of Alexandria and Bigfoot Electric and AC. You too could have a beautiful smile in as little as 12 weeks. Exclusive to Today's Dental in Pineville. Virtual Align Clear Aligners. The fastest, most convenient, affordable way to straighten your teeth for people on the go. Plus, they're invisible. No one will know you're doing it. Experience the virtual Align difference. Call Today's Dental at 448-4540. It's a general dental facility on Highway 28 East in Pineville, owned by Dr. Jonas Goche. 448-4540.
Talkback. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK.
All right, we're back. Alan Stephen with you here on your Wednesday morning. Thanks again to Kim for stopping in here this morning. And, you know, it's interesting, Stephen. I just heard a story today. They were talking about how the birth rate in the country is so far down right now. For us to be able to sustain our population, women would have to average just over 2 babies per woman in the country. And right now it's like 1.59.
Well, wasn't the vice president talking about, or was it Elon, like a $5,000 tax credit or something?
Yeah, in
if you have children.
In the one big beautiful bill now, if you have a child, it's a $5,000 tax credit.
Yeah.
And then they also did like a $1,000 kind of like savings thing you can put in.
Yeah. I don't know. I think a big issue too, at least from my generation, is it's just very expensive to raise a child.
It is.
Yeah.
Sure. But
like, I'm serious. If we
not
had,
how much it costs, it's what it's worth.
But here's the thing: if we have, 2 kids in daycare, you have a mortgage, you have cars. The daycare alone is going to be more than your mortgage or your rent payment.
Yeah.
It's just tough.
Yeah. No, I get that.
So if we had 2 kids,
it's hard to just have a one-income family where your wife could stay home and do that.
Yeah. It could be done, I'm sure, but it's just that's the issue a lot of people have. And there's other factors, I'm sure, too, and I'm probably ignorant to talk about it, but that's been my experience with people in my generation.
I think that's one of the reasons why they were kind of looking the other way with illegal immigration, because they know that a lot of what's been kind of built is predicated on having enough population to support it. Not just a jobs economy, but even something like Social Security. Because we're at that point now where they saw this bubble was coming for years and years with the baby boomers, and they're there.
Yeah.
And you've got to have that population coming behind to sustain it. Otherwise, the Ponzi scheme falls apart.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, lots of factors. But like, for instance, if I had 2 kids under 4, I mean, we both have to work for the most part. We did it for 2 years where she didn't, and we still had to do part-time work on the side to survive.
Yeah.
It'd be like $1,500.
Yeah.
For daycare a month.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
So bump it up to 10,000. We'll have more kids.
Hey, you just got to be like the lady that we were talking about earlier.
What's that?
The Medicare lady.
Oh, yeah. Don't do that, but that's a thought.
What did they call her again? What was her nickname? The Medicare millionaire?
Medicare millionaire, yeah.
Yeah, don't do that. All right, let's go back to the phones here on Talkback. Good morning. Thanks for calling in.
Well, again, that's the whole justification for large-scale immigration of younger people.
Yeah, yeah.
And the problem is that it was done in a totally irrational way.
Right.
No,
I've said it several times that I think there's definitely a need for immigrants in this country, especially to fill certain job sectors. But we just have to do it in a sensible way, in a more efficient way. And unfortunately, that involves government being sensible and efficient, which therein lies the rub.
Yeah. It's the ultimate political football.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you saw the hordes of people just crowding into the country, and Biden and Harris and whoever that dodo, anyway, Mayorkas. Oh, everything is fine. The border is. I mean, I guess people live in an alternate universe.
Sometimes it seems that way. Yeah, I mean, those guys were just gaslighting us. I mean, not only were they allowing them to come in, they were literally flying them in.
Yeah.
And don't think for a second that with what they did with the census in 2020, where they were counting people also in the country illegally, thus giving more census, I should say, congressional seats in a lot of the blue states. Don't think for a second that wasn't part of it either.
Yeah, well, I mean, like you say, a Ponzi scheme, sooner or later it collapses and it takes everything with you.
Well, I've said many times, if all of us could have taken the money we've paid into Social Security, and if we would have just put that into a very conservative 401k or some similar type account, we'd all be retiring with accounts well over $1 million and living comfortably in our retirement instead of getting the pittance of what, $2 or $3 grand that they give you a month now.
Well, I can remember when $3 grand would have been marvelous money.
Sure.
Did y'all have a chance to discuss the carbon capture meeting?
Coming up at 8.
Yeah, we're going to do that at 8:05. Stephen was there last night, and he's got several interviews we want to play, so we'll have that coming up.
And it was interesting that they made a point of explaining that Mr. DeWitt changed his mind and came.
He did, and Stephen talked to him. Were you there last night?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What were your thoughts? What were your takeaways?
Well, as far as I could tell, basically that, is it Sundrop?
Sungas.
Sungas. That's just a Ponzi scheme in itself. The gentleman that spoke about it had gone online and was checking this, that, and the other, and in essence what he concluded was that there's no way that you could demonstrate that the company was worth what it claimed to be worth, and they basically had very few employees who were apparently getting paid huge salaries.
Okay. Well, and who was it that said that?
I think Musgrove, Gary Musgrove.
Okay.
And he made a point of saying, this is what I found, and I'm willing to accept criticism if I'm incorrect. And he said he was speaking for himself. He was not speaking for any group. But, I mean, you start playing around with the internet and you start looking at this, that, and the other. And that place, that company, Sungas, basically sounds like, Cowboy Town Venture.
That was Sundrop.
Oh, okay. Sundrop and Sungas.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, one of the points that was made was the amount of water that would be required for that biofuel plant. And when you start looking at taking large amounts of fresh water out of the ground, what then does it do to the aquifer situation?
Right.
I've had friends from the Eunice area say that the aquifer down there has dropped precipitously since the electric generating station went in. And that was something that the local community complained about vociferously before it was ever established, and indicated that it was a very unwise place to put it because of the great demand for water.
A lot of facets to this discussion.
We'll get into that for sure in a couple moments. So.
Yep.
Hey, did you see where in Wyoming they have that big AI center coming? And it's going to take more electricity than every household combined in the state of Wyoming.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, the AI centers are massive.
They are, aren't they?
Suckers of energy. So, all right, well, we need to take a break. We'll come back with more right here on Talkback.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
Hello, I'm Dr. Noah Miller. I'm the new guy at the clinics. I'm a family medicine physician from Vedrine, Louisiana, and I'm now accepting new patients. Call today for an appointment. The clinics offers a wide range of services, including primary care, family and chronic care, urgent and acute care, on-site lab and x-ray as well. Same-day appointments are available, and we accept most insurance and Medicare. Experience exceptional care at the clinics. 1587 North Bolton. Call 445-9823 or reach us online at theclinics.us. Looking forward to seeing you at the clinic.
Now back to Talkback 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYL.
Of course, we have a data center coming to Richland Parish too, and that's I would bet same probably kind of thing there. It's going to take more energy than the entire parish uses right now.
Electric guzzler. You know, that's one thing that's kind of interested me, and I'm not like, it's not a criticism, it's just like an observation.
Yeah.
Is some of the blowback we've been seeing from conservative areas on a lot of industry coming to the area. This has been very, very interesting. So it kind of shows you how the Republican Party is it's not like you toe the line if the party leader tells you. It's like, hey, we have our own opinions. We're very faceted.
Yeah.
And it's, I think that's commendable. Whether I agree with some things or not, I think it's commendable.
Yeah, people want jobs, but they also don't want to see a disruption of lifestyle that they love, which is the quietness of the country life, the beauty of the state, and certainly enjoying those natural resources. Anything that would threaten to undo that, people get really nervous about.
Yeah.
And then mix in property rights and mineral rights, and it's a multifaceted issue. I feel like there's a solution in there. I feel like there's a way to do it, but do people trust the people in charge, quote unquote, to actually do that? That's another part of the problem, I think.
Yeah. And they're all Republicans in charge here. That's what's interesting to me.
It is. It is. All right. So when we come back at 8:05, we'll get into what happened last night in DeVille and hear from some of the folks who were there as we continue with you here on a Wednesday Talkback. Thanks for joining us.
You've been listening to Talkback. The opinions expressed were those of the hosts and callers, and not necessarily those of Cenla Broadcasting. FM 104.9, AM 970, KSYL, and KRRV 100.3 HD3, Alexandria. It's 8 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
We gave the all clear sign.
Tsunami warnings lifted for Hawaii, California, Japan, and Russia after a massive 8.8 earthquake in Russia's Far East last night. Hawaii County Mayor Kimo Alameda.
We deployed out our police, fire, and our public works to make sure that those areas that were reported flooding, that there were no debris, and that residents could go back to their homes.
Correspondent Jonathan Vigliotti is in Malibu.
Fortunately, the worst of the waves never materialized. Here in Southern California, about half a foot. In Hawaii, just under 6 feet. The island there using their tsunami warnings for the first time, sounding those sirens in more than a decade.
The U.S. economy is growing again. The Commerce Department says the gross domestic product rose 3% in the second quarter after contracting in the first. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
Overall, this report shows that for the first half of the year, the economy is in good shape. That means that when the Federal Reserve concludes its meeting later today, they're more than likely to take no action.
Analysts say the GDP numbers are still skewed because of President Trump's tariffs, and he announced on Truth Social this morning he will not budge on his Friday deadline for dozens of countries that haven't made deals. One big company is already planning accordingly. CBS's Michael Wallace.
Procter & Gamble, the maker of Tide, Crest, and Charmin, warns it will raise prices on about a quarter of its products starting next month. The consumer products giant says the tariffs will increase its costs by about $1 billion in its next fiscal year. In recent months, P&G has been trying to avoid the tariffs by finding other sources for its raw materials and changing some of its product formulas.
President Trump has explained why he broke off his friendship with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein years ago. CBS's Scott McFarland.
Among those who Trump says was poached or stolen from Mar-a-Lago was one of Epstein's most outspoken victims, Virginia Giuffre.
I think she worked at the spa. I think so. I think that was one of the people. Yeah. He stole her.
According to her family, Gouffre died by suicide earlier this year.
Thousands of Ozzy Osbourne fans lined the streets of his hometown of Birmingham, England. They chanted and cheered as the Black Sabbath frontman's hearse carried his casket down Broad Street.
I'm glad to be here today with people who are like-minded, who adored him and adore the family, and we want to show our support today for him and his family.
Ozzy's wife Sharon, his daughter Kelly, and other family members followed in cars behind his. They'll attend a private funeral shortly. Osbourne died last week. He was 76. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. We offer auto, home, and commercial auto insurance, plus a variety of business insurance options. Visit Progressive.com today.
Do you know how America became the best country on God's green earth? We made things, from automobiles to airplanes to textiles. We were the manufacturing epicenter of the world, the innovators that every other country turned to. I'm Katie Lyon, co-founder of Allegiance Flag Supply, and I'm here to tell you that the American spirit is alive and well at Allegiance, where we make American flags 100% in America. When you fly your American flag from Allegiance Flag Supply, you're not just honoring our country. You're supporting American men and women who proudly make the highest quality American flags. Period. True patriots who put care into every stitch. See our full story at showallegiance.com and learn about our 100% American-based supply chain. Fly your flag from showallegiance.com with pride, because every flag says manufacturing is still alive and well in the U.S., and we are still the greatest country. Save $35 on your American flag set when you go to showallegiance.com.
Louisiana Radio Network, I'm Sean Burns. A breastfeeding Baton Rouge mother is released from ICE custody following 2 months in detention. Here's Colleen Crane.
25-year-old Paula Kluat was brought to the U.S. by her mother when she was 14 and was legally processed. She's now married and has 2 kids. Her attorney, Carrie Holliday, says 2 months ago she found out she had an order of removal because her mother failed to show up for an immigration court hearing in 2018.
She had no knowledge of this until about a week before she had an appointment at USCIS for an adjustment interview.
At that appointment, she was arrested by ICE and placed in detention. Holliday was able to secure an emergency stay of removal, and she was reunited with her family on Monday. I'm Colleen Crane.
Scorching heat has communities across Louisiana opening up cooling centers. In Lafayette, city officials are working to take care of vulnerable people like seniors. Chief Communications Officer Jamie Boudreau.
We've partnered with Oak Street Health Primary Care to make sure that we've got an indoor cooling center available.
LRN.
Storms, tornadoes, power outages. It's the season. So get prepared. Get storm ready with Southern Air. Get a free estimate on a generator, the right generator for your home and family, plus 0% financing for 60 months with approved credit. Let Southern Air help you take the worry out of hurricane season. Take action now. Visit southernairnow.com and let us bear it. Or give us a call at 318-777-5555. Keep the lights on with Southern Air.
Good morning. Partly cloudy skies for us on this Wednesday. It'll be another scorcher of a day. Hot and humid, highs near 96. That heat index probably about 105 to 110. So be careful if you have to be out in that heat. But a 40% chance of some mainly afternoon showers or thunderstorms tonight. Cloudy skies to start us out, becoming partly cloudy after midnight down to 75, and more of the same on Thursday. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Gratian. Currently 81 degrees in Cenla.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 27 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversations.
All right, we are back for hour number 2 of Talkback here on your Wednesday. Al Portermont, Stephen Maxwell, thanks for being with us. As advertised, time for us to break down a little bit what happened last night in DeVille with the latest carbon capture and sequestration kind of public meeting. I don't want to call it a hearing, but it's just more or less an informational meeting. Stephen was there, and what's a kind of a quick summary of it?
Yeah, they had a meeting. I guess you could say the keynote speaker was Brad LeBlanc. He's the geoscientist you've heard about. He was at Philadelphia a couple of weeks ago, about 2 months ago. Talked about why he thinks CCS is a problem. He has years of experience in those industries, and he's definitely concerned. Concerned citizens spoke. State Representative Mike Johnson kind of opened it up, saying that, look, we want to make up for some decisions we made, whether we meant it in that way or not. And then they had Mike Nichols. We had him on our show a couple of weeks ago too, from Vernon Parish. Talked about some issues he has with it as well. So I mean, it leaned towards, obviously we don't want CCS. But yeah, we got an interview with Brad LeBlanc. We talked with Jason DeWitt. The storyline behind that, State Representative Jason DeWitt, is he said he wasn't going to go yesterday or 2 days ago because of a alleged social media threat, and he was advised not to go, but then he ended up showing up. So I talked to him about that and where he stands on that issue. So we'll hear from him as well. But there's like a Q&A at the end, some spirited conversation. It wasn't like the Pineville one at all, where it kind of got heated, but it had its moments.
All right, so as you mentioned, you talked to Brad LeBlanc. He is the geologist, has worked for a long time. I believe he's at UL, or has been at UL through much of his career. And you had a chance to catch up with him at the meeting. It's a little bit of a longer interview, so we want to let you listen to that and find out what he had to tell Stephen.
When we first got interested in this, it was really because of eminent domain. We had some land that was inside of a unit producing from the Austin Chalk. We were approached by Denbury that they wanted to have a CO2 agreement and convert that well into a CO2 injection well. That was in the Masters Creek field. The well was still producing about 45 barrels a day, so we didn't want to do that. We were later told by the landmen, who really kept pursuing, that they could just take the land if we didn't, play along with the participation agreement that Denbury had for us. And in the time period, I think Exxon was in the process of taking over Denbury. And, that really, the whole eminent domain issue affected us so much, and we really don't like lawsuits. We're not looking to get into a lawsuit with anybody, but to defend our property, we were willing to go ahead and go to bat, as much as we had to do that. So it was initially about the eminent domain issue, but it slowly, as I learned more and more about the other concerns associated with CO2, it was clear that the safety issues really superseded the stranded mineral issue that we were concerned about, because we felt like there was still oil and gas to be discovered in the field. Certainly, we wanted to keep pursuing that. But if you use that for a CO2 plume, immediately we thought that the plume was going to be so big that maybe not this conservation commissioner, but a future commissioner would prohibit drilling through CO2 plumes. That's what we thought, and forever strand the minerals. Other landowners felt the same thing. Our attorney said as much, that other landowners that they represented, feared that their minerals would be stranded forever in perpetuity. Now, maybe not in a physical sense, but in a practical sense, because as a geoscientist, I have to take my work to the business world and convince other people to bring their millions of dollars to drill prospects. If those investors, see that there's some ongoing lawsuits between surface owner and mineral owner, as the case is with CO2 surface owners and mineral owners possibly not being the same, or with having to have more complications via regulations of having to isolate those CO2 sand zones with cement and using very expensive chromated casing to do that. Clearly to us, that was one more big hurdle for investors to have to overcome, and we saw them as just choosing to go other places. I have made that statement to the assessment committee on different occasions, and so to us, it definitely will be interfering with the oil and gas exploration. So the other side of it is because I just don't believe that CO2 is the threat to the world that you've heard so often in the major media. That's why I say major media, major manipulation. I have read the work of Stephen Koonin in his book, Unsettled. I have read the other works of Judith Curry at the Georgia Institute of Technology, Jonathan Christie at the University of Alabama at Huntsville, Richard Lindzen at MIT, and Professor William Happer at Princeton, as well as Dr. Don Easterbrook. I don't want to leave him out at the University of Western Washington. Excuse me. All of these scientists, when you study them, they're pretty much all in agreement that CO2 as a threat, the existential threat, they love to use that word, to the planet, it's just not what it was driven to be. It's really driven to create fear in people that they themselves can do something about CO2, when in fact the Earth has many different emitters of CO2. It has millions of ways to replenish the atmosphere naturally with CO2, no matter what we do to try to take CO2 out of the atmosphere. That was sort of like, in a sense, if you remember who Paul Harvey was, Paul Harvey used to like to say page 2, meaning the rest of the story. Well, the rest of the story wasn't being told. So beside the stranded mineral issue, the eminent domain issue, I felt like there was a real strong reason to tell the rest of the story. And that's really my motivation for doing what I do.
And you've been going to these meetings for a couple of them now.
Well, ever since we got involved with Brett Guyman in he is the chairman of the assessment committee, and he was a representative from Moss Bluff, and he's a good guy. He invited me to come to Baton Rouge early last year, and there was a roundtable discussion to try to think through some of these issues. And right away, I really felt that the main issue was, look, CO2 is not a problem to begin with. You're asking me to solve a very complex problem of stranded minerals, but you guys have created a complex web. Number one, a web of deceit to the people because you're not being truthful to them. You're trying to sell them that there's sand shale, sand shale, sand shale. There's some very impermeable shale zones above the sand zones that you want to inject CO2 into, but you're not telling them that Louisiana has become a pincushion of wells throughout the decades, and these wells have degraded cement in them that will allow CO2 to just rise back to the surface or find a fault, and faults that rise back to the surface are also migration pathways for CO2 to travel upwards to. So if you have a crawfish pond or some sort of a natural spring in your property in Louisiana, there's a lot of people that have those, those are at risk along with your drinking water, of being contaminated by CO2. You've got to realize how much CO2 they really hope to put into the ground and start as shallow as 4,500 feet. That is really not much distance at all to travel back up to the surface via faulting or old well bores. It's happened time and time again at Delhi Field and Franklin, Madison parishes, and it's going to happen again. So you have the pipelines that leak. We've had one in right just northeast of Sulphur and Beulah, last year. Well, that was number 13 out of the 12 between 2007 and 2023 from Denbury's own data. So you have these large amounts of CO2 that have been kind of quietly, not talked about, but that's the facts. You've had the pipelines that leak, and you've got plumes now that you want to create that are going to make it very difficult on the oil and gas industry, which historically the state has enjoyed revenue from the industry, greatly, like no other. Oil and gas is such a great commodity, as I've explained in the meeting. There's no other commodity like it. We put it to use right away. We sell it right away. As soon as we find it, we need to go find more because it's going to be used. So it's just this wonderful commodity that we have. We need to not inhibit that. We need to have our own industry, own oil and gas industry, and protect it. When you hear that the CCS, carbon capture and sequestration, is not going to interfere with the oil and gas industry, I'm sorry. I beg to differ with you. It will interfere with it. You're out there to create, 40,000 acre plumes, and you have 200 applications at the state that, as I understand, they want to fast track those prior to 2027. Well, if you create 40,000 acre plumes for every one of those 2,000 applications, you've got 8 million acres of land that will it be taken via eminent domain? Will the legislators and the governor actually do something about that? Because they're hot. They're mad as can be about having their land taken in this manner for an unproven science. And that's really what I want to stress to the legislators. This is not for the public good. It is not for the public good because it's an unproven science to begin with. Carbon dioxide is not an imminent threat to the planet like they've been telling you for so many years. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I went to the Pineville meeting and they had a group of geologists there who said that they believe it's minimal risk, tested, proven, because they use it for enhanced oil recovery. You obviously think there's much more of a risk than they do.
Well, enhanced oil recovery is fine. Listen, I'm okay with CO2 being used for nurseries and nurseries making plants greener. You know, that's why God put it here. It makes the plants greener. The plants in return give you oxygen. So there's many other uses for CO2. The problem is when you concentrate CO2 into pipelines and they rupture, or like they're going to do, start injecting it at 4,500 feet down to 13,000 feet and expect that it's not going to create a problem by getting up into one of these old well bores. It's happened before. You know, it's not a question. It's not speculation. It's actually something that's happened before. Look, up in Illinois, Nicor, you know, they store gas in the Ancona, I think, sandstone there, the Ancona field. That particular natural gas where they store it is already leaking beyond the capstone, supposedly the impermeable layer that's supposed to keep the gas in place. But the problem is it's not. It's actually already, and it has been doing that for some time. If you just do a little bit of research on Google or Brave, whatever search engine you want to use, search that out. You'll see that there's plenty of news reports about Nicor, you know, having to fend off lawsuits from the landowners, farmers around there, that the natural gas is seeping up through the ground. You can have little, you know, wells that are bubbling up gas. My point is that if natural gas can make its way back to the surface, certainly CO2 can. It's more corrosive. Now, the issue about CO2 that I don't think I brought up in this last meeting is that it hugs the ground. It's heavier than air. Natural gas, when you have a rupture in a pipeline that's natural gas, it goes up. It's lighter than air, not CO2. So when CO2 is heavier than air and it's hugging the ground, it becomes very, very dangerous. It pushes oxygen out. So if you drive, and listen, an Exxon engineer, we were in the legislators' lounge back in April of this year, the Exxon representative told me when I asked him, how rapidly does the CO2 concentrate up to 150,000 parts per million? That's a 5% concentration in the atmosphere. I said, how long does it take for that? He goes, oh, it's instantaneous. He was being honest. That is the danger. And how far does it spread? It can spread, as I just stated, you know, for a mile, mile and a half. And depending upon which direction the wind is blowing, if you happen to drive through that, if that CO2 plume is crossing over a highway, your car may stop running. You'll stop breathing because there won't be any oxygen to breathe. It's different from carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide is starved, you know, for that extra oxygen. Carbon dioxide already has it. It's rather stable, but it's heavy. So it just displaces the oxygen. It just pushes it out. But CO2 does not typically act as an asphyxiant to human beings unless you're in an elevator with crowded people and you're stranded in an elevator for overnight. Then you're going to be concerned about how much more oxygen you have left to breathe. Why? Because there's no additional oxygen filling that elevator. But if you're outside, the trees and everything is providing you oxygen there. So you have plenty. It's not an asphyxiant outside. It only becomes an asphyxiant when we concentrate it into pipelines and they rupture. Or what I'm saying and predicting to you, and I'm predicting to you, not speculating because it's already happened. You know, when you have these plumes and they make it back to the surface in heavy concentrations and you don't have an oxygen mask, you will suffer. You will suffer from the CO2 being an asphyxiant to you. But in the atmosphere that we have, no, sir, it's not. It's just not.
In your advocacy role, do you feel like these projects could be stopped at all across Louisiana?
Well, you have big money really supporting it. And so it's like trying to stop a freight train, really. It really takes the people to get involved and say, look, we really don't want it on our property, and we really don't want you taking our property for the use of CO2 storage. There is no science that is proven to show that carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas that is harmful to mankind. And mankind's contributions, which are about 3 to 10% of the total contributions being made to the atmosphere. So you've got about 0.004% CO2 right now. If you compare that to the Cajun Dome, that would take up about 4 seats in a 10,000-seat auditorium. But mankind's contribution to that is only 3 to 10%. So let's take 10% times 0.04, that's 0.004, or not even 1 complete seat in the Cajun Dome. That is what we're arguing about. So mankind's contribution to CO2 in the atmosphere is very small compared to the rest of what the Earth is naturally replenishing day by day. For instance, the oceans make up 2/3 of the planet. Land is 1/3, so you've got twice as much water as you have land. And the oceans have 50 times more CO2 in them than does the atmosphere. The oceans, when they warm naturally, they release CO2. When they cool, they absorb CO2. It's an amazing system, isn't it? And over the last 120 years or so, you've seen a pretty even 60 to 80 year period where you've had a natural warming and a natural cooling and a natural warming. If you follow the Atlantic multidecadal circulation or the Pacific multidecadal circulation, you will see that those are naturally warming and naturally cooling over the last 120 years or so, as long as we could track that natural process. So the Earth is naturally warming, naturally cooling, and CO2 follows that warming. It doesn't precede it. The ice cores in Antarctica and Greenland have shown that to be the case, and other scientists have reviewed that. So that's why Dr. Don Easterbrook from the University of Western Washington, in his interview, stated that it's really just impossible for mankind's contribution of CO2 to the atmosphere to hurt mankind. It's just impossible for that to happen. I would look him up. If you doubt that, look up Dr. Don Easterbrook's interview. Just put that in your Google search engine, and you will be interested to see how that man tackles the issue. He has testified before Congress, and these other scientists that I have followed have won cases in The Hague on behalf of Shell, because Shell was being sued for their destruction of the planet, more or less. Well, Professor William Happer from Princeton and Professor Richard Linsden from MIT and Professor Stephen Koonin from the New York University, they were the expert witnesses, on behalf of Shell, and they won the case. That was just a few years ago. It wasn't that long ago. These men also have their recent publications that I would encourage you or anybody listening to research on your own and see if I'm telling you the truth. I am, and they would support what I'm telling you. I don't have any doubt that they would support what I'm telling you.
All right, that was Brad LeBlanc, who is a geologist, spoke last night at the meeting in DeVille, talking with Stephen. We need to take a break, and we'll come back and break that down a little more.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics, with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
Attention all real estate agents, property owners, and lenders. When you or a client needs a real estate attorney, call the professionals at Thompson Law Firm. Whether the legal matter is basic or complex, the Thompson Law Firm can accurately guide you or your client to a successful outcome. That's why numerous industry professionals have trusted the Thompson Law Firm for years. They also handle estate planning, successions, and business law. Call them at 473-0052. I am a paid non-client attorney spokesperson.
Hey everyone, Dean here from Say's Office Supply, wanting to invite everyone to our annual youth fishing tournament from safe daylight to 10:30 at Coachella Lake. Entry fee is only $10. The first 400 participants get a free Zepco rod and reel, a t-shirt, and even a honey bun. And everyone will have lunch provided by Burger King. And this year, guys, Red River Bank's even coming with ice cream. Participants ages 3 to 14 can fish for bass, brim, white perch, and even the largest trash fish. There's going to be more awesome giveaways, including 4 bicycles and a lifetime hunting and fishing license. Make sure to pick up your entry forms at Say's Office Supply or any participating Burger King. Before we leave, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Max Fresh Market, UTLX, Zenlaw Broadcasting, Texas Roadhouse, Gilchrist Construction, Bulletproof Outfitters, ALBC, Parish Press, and Derek Delaney Farm Bureau. Hope to see you there Saturday, August the 2nd.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BON Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BON Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
It's Talkback 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
All right, so we played that whole interview with Brad LeBlanc because we felt that the information was pretty important to get to you. It would be interesting to have a debate between him and maybe some of the scientists / geologists that are in support of carbon capture, just to see how that would go.
Yeah, it would be. Maybe I can work on that because I was thinking about that last night.
Yeah. But I mean, a lot of the information that he gave there, I felt like there's some things that I'd heard before, but I think he really, no pun intended, drilled down on what I think is the major overarching issue of all of this, which is the whole climate change debate and the impact of carbon on our atmosphere as a globe. And I'd heard that before, and it was interesting to hear him talk about how CO2 follows what the oceans do from a temperature standpoint, not causes what the oceans do from a temperature standpoint.
And that's an important argument to make. Do you believe in climate change, man-made climate change? But it really just comes down to maybe the people who support the business here, it doesn't matter. It's just that's what the global market wants.
Yeah.
So they're going to give it to them, and
right.
That's a great argument and all, but I think the majority of people who are for it here are just like, well, if Europe or whoever wants that, then we'll just do it.
Well, I think a lot of climate change has been presented, especially in education settings, as a foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
And I've maintained all along, I don't think it is. And I've had people castigate me for that. But okay, but here's somebody who is actually a scientist as well, who is pointing at other scientists that are giving a different side of the argument. And that's the problem. I think so much of our science has been politicized in recent years. We really saw that during the pandemic, didn't we? The politicization of science. Follow the science. Well, why aren't we actually following the real science instead of the politicized science? So
it's always debated, science.
The whole nature of science, yes, is
the point.
To debate it.
It's got to be tested,
right,
weathered, and you come to a conclusion. But I'm no scientist.
Nor do you play one on TV.
Oh, Lord.
So, okay, we got a little bit behind because the interview ran long, but we'll take this break, and when we come back, we'll get to your phone calls, and we'll also hear from State Representative Jason DeWitt, who was at the meeting yesterday.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. The economy grew by a 3% annualized rate in the second quarter, and that was better than what was estimated. Meanwhile, ADP reported that private payrolls went up by 104,000 in July. That was quite a bit better than expected. The firm said hiring gains were led by a resurgence in services, with the exception of education and health. President Donald Trump said he would impose a tariff rate of 25% on India starting on August 1st and suggested he would add an additional penalty over the country's energy purchases from Russia. Toyota saw record global sales during the first half of 2025. Strong demand for hybrids in core markets helped offset tariff headwinds, mainly due to strong demand in the U.S., Japan, and China. But German car makers are feeling the pinch from President Donald Trump's tariffs on European vehicles. Porsche cut its outlook for the third time this year, and Mercedes lowered its guidance for the year. U.S. stock futures have been mostly higher on this Wednesday morning. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
Close your eyes and feel the sun-drenched breeze of southern Spain. From whitewashed villages to golden beaches, this is where history meets passion. Moorish palaces, flamenco night, and unforgettable tapas. This small group, escorted by Annie and Christine in March 2026, will visit Seville, Cordoba, Granada, Marbella, and more. Join our spectacular Spain tour, beaming with culturally rich and local experiences. FreedomTravelLLC.com, your international travel architect.
Got a big day ahead of you? Then it's best to fuel up with some of Sinla's best at Bricato's restaurant. Walk right in and just smell that home-style cooking. Place your order, take a seat, and do breakfast right till 9:30 this morning. Get fresh biscuits, eggs any way you like them, melt-in-your-mouth pancakes, grits, hash browns, sausage, bacon, even wraps and sandwiches. And don't forget their fresh brewed coffee. Bricato's restaurant. 28 West, right across from the Coliseum. Your breakfast is waiting for you.
Good morning. Partly cloudy skies for us on this Wednesday. It's going to be another scorcher of a day. Hot and humid, highs near 96. That heat index probably about 105 to 110. So be careful if you have to be out in that heat. But a 40% chance of some mainly afternoon showers or thunderstorms. Tonight, cloudy skies to start us out, becoming partly cloudy after midnight down to 75 and more of the same on Thursday. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Grayson. Currently 81 degrees in Cenla.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK-TALKBACK.
All right, having more fun than human beings should be allowed, as Rush used to say. Back with you here on Talkback, Alan Steven, and again, 442-8255. If you were at the meeting yesterday and you'd like to respond, give us your thoughts on how it went, how you thought it went, what you took away from it. We'd love to hear from you here on the show this morning. How many, look like what, a few hundred people there at least?
Oh, I'd say around 150, if I had to guess. Yeah. I try to do some math, but, I haven't been good with math in my day, but I tried to, do my best. It was around 150, I'd say.
I don't think many journalists are good with math for some reason.
That stinks because, you have to do lots of data and...
Yeah. I guess a data-driven journalist would be good at it.
Oh, Lord.
That was never my thing.
Like when you do a FOIA, which is a Freedom of Information request, and you get all these numbers and data, and oh my gosh, it makes you not want to be an investigative journalist. Going back to surfing squirrels, please.
That's right. All right, let's go to the phones. Good morning, you're on Talkback.
Yes, this is John West. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead, sir.
Oh, hey, good morning. Hey, I don't know if Brad is still there. I met Brad a few times. Brad is an amazing man and smart as a whip. I'll never be able to compare to him. But I want to touch on a couple points that have been brought up to clarify a couple things. So first and foremost, to your point, science is only around to question science. That's the whole purpose. I'm an environmental scientist. I have a degree in Bachelor's of Science in Environmental Management. And that's the purpose of science. So to put things in perspective, right? So they mentioned the number of applications and stuff. So right now in DNR's website, under the applications, there's potential for 104 wells just inside the state of Louisiana. When you compare that to the EPA dashboard for Class 6 injection, because not every state has primacy yet, so the EPA still has primacy over the majority. Of those states, 14 states are in their database, and that's for approximately 200 wells. So what you're looking at is 50% of those 14 states are trying to shove into one state, right? That doesn't make sense. That's a lot, right?
Yep.
So the other thing I'd like to focus on is, there's been talk about, is this economically long-term viable for industry? If you want to see some that have been committed to these already across the United States, look under the Department of Energy's Carbon Safe program. There's 3 phases that have been funded between, I believe it's March 23 and October of 24. And there's been about $2.2 billion with a B, federal dollars through the Department of Energy funding these types of activities. And when I looked at it, there are projects within the state of Louisiana that are on those lists from phase 1 through phase 3, which these companies have received some of these federal dollars. what I noticed is when you look at the parentheses behind the title or the name of the company, it's in Houston, Texas, or Arlington, Virginia, and it's not here. So the money's going somewhere and being funneled through. It's a real complex web of following these dollars, but I don't see how this is going to be long-term economic viable. And the last thing I'd like to mention, it was announced yesterday by the EPA administrator, secretary, whatever you'd like to call him. There's a ruling coming out in relation to greenhouse gas emissions. It's touted to be the biggest rollback redaction of regulatory requirements for industry in relation to emissions. I'll be real interested to see how this plays out, because one of the key points of that rescinding and rollback is the industry's requirement to report under the greenhouse gas reporting program that was established back in around 2009. So I'm really interested to see how that's going to play out in relation to carbon capture and sequestration, because it's driven by greenhouse gas and climate change. And the last thing I'll say is, one of the things I'd ask the legislators, if they're listening, to consider is a lot of these applications are dialing back and referencing the Louisiana Climate Action Plan. If indeed the EPA rolls these back, will we consider revising the Louisiana Climate Action Plan to address the changes based off the federal directive? Thank you.
What's your name again?
John West.
Okay. Can you DM me on Facebook? My name is Stephen Maxwell. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Appreciate that call. I mean, when I talk about we have some of the smartest audience members, there's Exhibit A right there. And we have people who do their, excuse me, I just sneezed. We have people that do their own research, and you heard some of the sources that he was citing there. And I did hear that this morning, that the Trump administration is launching a huge rollback of kind of these green initiatives, and especially as it relates to regulation on business and industry, which is no surprise. But
it's almost like they're talking out of both ends of their mouth, right? Like they're expanding 45Qs, but then they want to roll back the climate change green scam, is what they call it.
Right.
So they only want it if it profits them with jobs and industry,
yeah,
right?
I get what you're saying, but I believe, and somebody can fact check me on this, but I'm pretty sure that the Q45 tax credits were taken out of the big, beautiful bill in the House and then restored in the Senate. In fact, increased, I believe, even as well. And look, that is the bottom line. If you don't have these kinds of tax credits, these sorts of projects are not happening. So if they don't happen, then you can't tout, oh, look at all this great economic development that we have coming.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, it's just speaking out of both ends of your mouth.
Right.
On the whole climate change issue.
Yeah.
I feel like if you were really against climate change and you thought it was a scam, then you just wouldn't.
Then you put $0 toward it.
Yeah.
And if you put $0 toward it, do all these projects go away, to where then you're like, oh, we have these huge economic development announcements.
So there's an end to, there's like a means to your, or what is the word I'm looking for?
There's a method to your madness?
No, not a method. There's just like, well, we have standards and principles, except if it benefits industry, right?
Right.
So
situational ethics.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, let's take another call before the break. Good morning, you're on Talkback.
Good morning. The reason it didn't all come out is because you have so many rhinos. They have to get things passed.
Right.
Didn't you hear Mr. Upton the other day when he said this wouldn't work if it wouldn't be for the government money that's in it?
Right. Yeah.
Well, this all started about with George Bush 1.
It did.
When all of this started to come in and it started to get enacted, and now it's going to take a long time to get it out. They don't want it in there. It shouldn't be in there. It's phony. It's a phony economy. It's a phony climate change issue that they've been pushing for 40 years or more. And it's gotten in there, and it's going to take a long time to get it out. And that's what we're working towards.
Yeah,
Thank you, Bill Cassidy. Thank you.
Yeah, all right. Thanks for the call. And again, because it's money. Always follow the money.
Yeah, I mean, we've covered that a lot. I mean, that's known at this point. I'm just saying, like, if you really have principles about the whole thing, you just say, well, we're not going to do it.
Yep.
You have majorities in everything.
Yeah, including here in Louisiana.
Yeah. Not that I'm saying that's what they should do. That's just an opinion I have on the politics of it.
Yep, kind of seeing through that. Okay, let's take another break, and we'll come back with more calls.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
Dentures. You can't live with them, and you definitely can't live without them. But what if we told you there's a better way? Today's Dental in Pineville is here to revolutionize your smile. Say goodbye to old-fashioned adhesives and endless appointments. They've made getting implants incredibly simple, low anxiety, and affordable for everyone. Picture this. In-office IV sedation administered by a highly skilled, certified nurse anesthetist, making the procedure low anxiety and stress-free. And the best part? Their multiple finance options make implants truly affordable. Don't wait. If you're ready to replace those old-timey dentures with permanent implants, call Today's Dental on Highway 28 East in Pineville at 448-4540. It's a general dental facility owned by Dr. Jonas Gauthier. That's 448-4540. Your perfect smile is just a call away. Today's Dental, because you deserve the best.
A message from Israel Air Conditioning and Heating.
Yeah, my mama, she told me to pick up and call Israel Air. She told me Israel Air. She told me. She said they'll come running with comfort beyond compare.
And a very fair price.
Because you know we're all about your comfort, no troubles. Call 442-6657. That's 442-6657. We're all about your comfort,
Now back to Talkback, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
Well, we're not leaving you yet. In fact, we have more calls coming in on the BOM Bank Talk line. Let's go to those. Good morning. You're on Talkback. Hello. Good morning. All right. Let's go to another call. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for taking my call. Once again, y'all are hitting the nail on the head. I really enjoyed the show. One thing the geologists have done is they've made it open and shut case. This is not a wise thing to do, but I have to have my hats off to the Democrats and the leftists in the Democratic Party that have found a way to get Republicans to carry the ball for them. They wanted this carbon to be taken out of the air because their personal worldview teaches them that it should be. Well, they found a way, and I believe it happened during the Obama administration, they found a way to get us to carry the water for them. Found a way to monetize it. And they said, hey, if we can offer those Republicans money, we can get them working for us. And that's what we have. Because it's Republicans fighting Republicans in our state.
Yeah.
I mean, I see Jay Luno at some of these meetings, but I don't hear him getting up and saying a whole lot. It's Republicans fighting Republicans. And I understand at first it looked like easy money, fast. I mean, the age of those representatives, you'd think they would know better. But I understand, we're a depressed state. And they thought this may be a ticket out. And, But we know what the last caller said. We know that the science is foolish. It's not real. It's not going to help the planet. And but yet they're fighting to do it. And so I just have to have my hats off to our enemy. They really have used us, and they got behind us. They got on our flank. Every military analogy you can come up with, they have done it, and they are close to winning. They will probably win this. What scared me was when that guy said that Louisiana's a pincushion, and he's right. You see oil, those little things pumping up and down all over everywhere you're driving. And all those holes is where it's going to seep out of, So anyway, great show so far. Appreciate that. Do you know when the next time you're going to have a U.S. Senator on?
No, they usually, with the case of Cassidy, his people, they usually reach out like the day before. And with Kennedy, it's been a while with Kennedy, so maybe I'll shoot them a message and see if he's available.
I would like to ask them to call on Adam Schiff to be censured. Now that all this has come out about the Russian thing, we know it was a lie. You knew it was a lie all along, yet he went on CNN 3 or 4 nights out of the week saying there's secret knowledge I can't tell you, but we see things you can't see, and we know that Trump is guilty. And he just did that to the American people for 2.5 years. And I think he should be called on the carpet for that. So it's going to have to come from another senator. So anyways, thanks. Y'all have a great day.
All right. Thanks. Appreciate it. Shifty Schiff. All right. Good morning. You're on Talkback. Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
Hi, Alan, Stephen. This is Maisha Johnson.
Hey, Maisha, how's it going?
It's going well. Trying to recover from last night's carbon capture meeting. And I just want people to know this is serious. And I just want to encourage the community to do their research, talk to these officials, and let your voice be heard. The data is there, and I personally am not for it. But I'm more so concerned about, I don't want to make it about race or color, but, I'm a Black woman, and I commend the white community at large who are coming together and having these meetings. But you can see in the meetings that it's not, there's no diversity full, and it's not intentional. I'm not saying that, but I'm just calling on everyone to be informed and come together. The Black representatives, the Black senators, everybody needs to come together and be informed and do what needs to be done to save Louisiana. I just thank you guys for having this platform to bring on people like John West. I spoke with him before. He's very informed. And I just want to do my part on my platform, Maisha Johnson TV, at Facebook and YouTube, to bring this story to people, because I'm personally very concerned. So I just wanted to hop on and say that I am working with other people like Urban Cast and Miss Crystal Valerie to bring a meeting, and Miss Melody Slocum. We're planning things to bring the carbon capture issue to more people to be aware and to be informed. So that's all I had to say, guys, and thank y'all for the great journalistic work you're doing.
Thank you, ma'am. Good to see you.
Yeah. Thanks, Maisha.
All right.
Take care. Maisha, former employee of mine and student as well. Another proud LC alum.
Yeah, I mean, they had several politicians there. It was Jason DeWitt, State Representative Mike Johnson, Police Jury President Craig Smith, Jay Scott, police juror, was there too.
Really?
Yeah, he was there listening. I tried to catch him after, but he got out before I left. So she was talking about minority representation. Jay Scott was probably the only one there, but it's good to see people coming out and trying to get both sides of the story. Mayor of Woodworth was there, David Butler, too.
Ah, okay.
So
I think he's against this, right?
He's come out against it. We have a little sound from him on our page, somewhere on there. But I'll try and get a hold of him, too, later.
Okay, sounds good. Let's go to more calls. Good morning, you're on Talkback.
Big Al and Big Steve. That young lady, I want to give my address, lady. I want you to contact me. Cornelius Lawson White, 3638 10th Street, right by the big water tower off of Willow Glen River Road. So try to contact me. My phone number is area code 318-446-6934. I would love to talk to you. Now, I know y'all were busy at the meeting there. I went to the city council meeting in Ellick, and our illustrious mayor, who's promised to come on Talkback Live, who never does now, said that we're going to have brown water because they're getting ready to flush the system. And he said he's had brown water, and it may smell bad and it may taste bad, but it's clean as far as it's drinkable and everything. I brought up during the city council meeting, you can go to Optimum Channel 4 for that. And KLB was there. Rob was the reporter. He's a new reporter there. And I said, well, this carbon capture business hits our underwater aquifers, we'll be drinking acid, which no human being can drink acid. So they said, what? So I hope, Steve, I don't know if you know this, the mayor's having another briefing today. He came with a briefing before the city council meeting. And Rob asked him some questions, so I'm sure you will be able to ask him some questions too. And they said once they flush the system, we're going to have brown water.
Okay, I'll look into that. Thanks, Cornelius.
All right.
Jam-packed schedule. I'll try and fit that in.
Among other things. All right. Another call. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
So, how did Cornelius get out of Dave's doghouse?
I don't know.
How can we get him back in there?
I think he served his penance, but I'm not sure of your second part of your question.
So, here's the deal. I'll give you a principle. Principle is money talks and BS walks. And it doesn't matter how many informational meetings we have or how many scientists tell us the truth. Our representatives really don't care. I mean, our representatives can't even stand up to the billboard lawyers and get us good insurance. What do you think they're going to stand up to the energy companies on this CCS? I mean, we all know this is what politicians do. They know the same things with us, but they vote for the money. That's what politicians do. I mean, come on. We can have meetings till the cows come home. It's not going to matter.
I did hear somebody say that their feeling on the legislative session that recently completed was it all came down to, at the end of the day, the money won out.
You know, exactly, which, you know, Stephen was talking about principles. That's the principles that make our politicians vote the way they do. Money talks and BS walks. It doesn't matter how many times UPS Dave talks about the Democrats. It doesn't matter how many times Cornelius is in or out of the doghouse. It doesn't matter how cynical I am. It doesn't matter how many informational meetings we have. It is all about the money. Just like that mayor of Paul said, all we want is your money. That's what politicians do.
Meet the new boss?
Same as the old boss.
I can't find a hole in the argument. I mean, I'm sure there are, and I feel like we do have some principled leaders, but I think they get drowned out at the end of the day. I know a lot of the freshmen were really discouraged by this session because they came down there actually wanting to make some changes, and they got completely ramrodded by the system that is there, the political machine that's there. So, yeah,
Can we talk about something important, though, if we got a second? About 2 minutes?
Sure.
I want to talk about that Nazi gene commercial. I mean, I'm so disappointed.
Do you know what he's talking about?
I think my wife was telling me about it.
Sydney Sweeney, she's an actress, younger, blonde, and American Eagle has a new commercial with her showing off her jeans, meaning the jeans you wear as pants, but she talks about having great genes, meaning biologically, and people are saying that essentially she's promoting Nazism.
Oh, okay.
Right. She's a white supremacist. We all know that.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Who else would talk about great genes? I mean,
yeah.
I mean, for those of us that have some age on us, does anybody remember the Brooke Shields Calvin Klein?
She did the same thing. She did the same thing.
Almost verbatim.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So, Nazism, I'm tired of Hitler being singled out. There were other Nazis. I mean, can we refer to Himmler or Rudolf Hess
or
Dr. Mengele?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, or maybe Hermann Göring.
Yeah.
Big Nazi. Huge Nazi. There's more ways than one. Give me a break. Please check out the commercial. What really bothered me about the commercial is she gets into this 1966 Mustang GT 350. And that is a gas-guzzling muscle car. Does she not know what she's doing to the environment? All the carbon that muscle car put into the air.
Man, on so many levels, it's just outrageous. So
right, but I need to talk today because I need Cornelius back in the doghouse.
Okay.
That needs to be taken care of immediately.
All right. Thank you for the call today. We need to take our last break and more coming up right after this.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
The clinics welcome Dr. Noah Miller, family medicine physician, to our team. Dr. Miller from Vadrine, Louisiana, is now accepting new patients. Call today to schedule your appointment. The clinics offers a wide range of services, including primary care, family and chronic care, urgent and acute care with on-site lab and x-ray. Same-day appointments are available, and we accept most insurance and Medicare. Experience exceptional care at the clinics, 1587 North Fulton. Call 445-9823 or look us up online at theclinics.us.
Talkback. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK.
Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, the ads are for American Eagle, and the tagline is, Sydney Sweeney has great genes. Now, in one ad, the blonde-haired, blue-eyed actress talks about genes as in DNA being passed down from her parents.
The play on words is being compared to
Nazi propaganda with racial undertones.
The pun, good genes, activates troubling historical associations for this country. The American eugenics movement in its prime between like 1900 and 1940 weaponized the idea of good genes just to justify white supremacism.
By the way, that was Good Morning America yesterday. I'm pretty sure the eugenics movement was with Margaret Sanger. I don't think she was a conservative Republican, by the way.
I think we're missing the issue here. So American Eagle got what they wanted because their malls are shutting down.
Yeah.
And people don't shop out as much anymore.
Right.
They knew this was going to happen. They're not stupid.
No, American Eagle was a big shopping spot. In fact, to your point, their stock soared yesterday.
Yeah, not surprised. That's my thoughts.
Yeah. You're saying it's about money?
Yeah, it's about the money, honey.
All right.
You don't come to work for free.
That's right. Let's try to get one more call in. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Yeah, you know what? One thing concerns me. Royal Martin came out for carbon sequestration.
Yes.
And they're the largest private landowner in Louisiana. They don't have a lot of influence. I would hope that they could listen to Brad LeBlanc's presentation and do their due diligence. And because if they come out, I mean, if they support it, that's a problem because Royal Martin has land all over the place. They have property all over Grand Parish. And then Joe Bishop, he's for it. Well, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He wants jobs for Pineville, but he also, that Fun Gas place has offered him, they made a commitment to buy his property for $500,000. And I can't help but wonder if that's not influencing his support for that.
I'd heard didn't you ask him about that, Stephen?
Yeah, I have a report on my Facebook page. I did that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
He's addressed it.
Right. So, well, you know, at the end of the day, it's kind of what the last caller said. It's going to be about money and influence. You know, will the will of the people, the voice of the people, be what wins out? Or will it be other things like money? Yeah, we'll see. So thanks for the call. We always appreciate you calling in. Great calls this hour. Wish we could get more. We'd probably go another 2 or 3 hours for this topic alone. We didn't get to the interview you had with Jason DeWitt. Maybe we can save that for tomorrow.
Yeah, you can watch it on my Facebook page or the KSYL Facebook page. Right. The full interview.
At Stephen Maxwell TV or at Sinlaw Broadcasting or on KSYL.
Yeah.
All sorts of opportunities there.
Still trying to change my Facebook name. Meta's very complicated. Meta, if you're listening,
you should change it to Stephen Maxwell Has Great Genes.
I only have one pair of jeans, and I wear them too much.
Listening to Talkback. The opinions expressed were those of the hosts and callers.